Next, let us look at the income and expenditure account. The income and expenditure account is similar to a profit and loss account of a trading organization, of a profit organization. What happens in a profit and loss account? We record all items of income and all items of expense. That means we record only revenue items, income and expense, not capital. What do you mean by capital? Purchase of assets. What is a capital? What are capital items? For example, if we buy an asset, if we spend money, the benefit of which we intend to get in future, in the next year, then those things are called assets. When we expect to get benefit over not only the current year, but also future periods, that is called an asset. But expenditure made, expenses incurred, benefit of which we receive only in the current year, that is called an expense. They are revenue items and they are used to ascertain profit or loss for the year. So only revenue items, incomes and expenses. What are revenue items? Subscriptions which we get every year, maybe donations which come in every year. These could be examples of revenue items. Revenue items, income in nature. What about expenses? We may pay rent, telephone charges, benefit of which are received in the current year. For the upkeep of the club, for the upkeep of the not-for-profit organization, expenses which are incurred. So only revenue items find their place in the income and expenditure account. This income and expenditure for the current year, whether actually paid, whether actually received, would still come into the income and expenditure account. So this is not on cash basis, but on accrual basis. What does that mean? Suppose subscription income is due for the current year and some member has not paid it. This money which is not paid will not come in the receipts and payments account. But in the income expenditure account, it will find a place. Why? Because it is income relating to the current year. So, for example, if we take subscriptions for current year, received is, let us say, 50,000. Subscriptions for last year received is, let's say, 2,000. Subscriptions for next year received is, let us say, 3,000. Subscription not received, for current year, not received for current year is, let us say, 5,000. If this is the case, then the total amount received, 50, 2 and 3, this total amount which we have received finds its place in the receipts and payments account. Remember, we said all cash inflows, whether it relates to the current year or another year, this will find its place in the receipts and payments account. But what is income for the year? Income for the year would be 50,000 received and 5,000 which is not received, which is outstanding at the end of the year. It's an asset for us at the end of the year. It is a receivable. This subscription amount which is not received will go to the balance sheet and the total amount of 55,000 will be taken as income. So, the income and expenditure account is not prepared on cash basis. Irrespective of whether the money has been received, irrespective of whether money has been paid, all incomes and expenses for the current year would be brought into the books. All incomes and expenses for the current year would be brought into the books, irrespective of whether income was received or expense was paid. Anything relating to another period, if we have received cash for the next period or received cash for an earlier period, it will not find its place in the income expenditure account. Similarly, payments received for an earlier year or payments made for the next year in advance will not find its place in the income and expenditure account. So it is similar to a profit and loss account. Only revenue items will find its place. So if we purchase furniture, if you have paid cash for the furniture, that will go to receipts and payments account. But in the income and expenditure account, it will not come because it considers only revenue items, not capital items. Not capital items. Therefore, if somebody asks what is the nature of income and expenditure, it is a nominal account since we are dealing with all incomes and all expenses. Expenses, losses, incomes and gains. That is what will come in the income and expenditure account. So this is a nominal account while the receipts and payments account was a real account.